Well, here we are, guys. We're just coming into a property here. This is a development block, and I'll go into a little bit more of that as we go in, and there'll be details, of course, to go with this on the web page. But we're coming into a property here just on the edge of the bitumen. We're on NORPINE Road, and we're coming into the property which is named NORPINE. Righto, now just as we're heading in here, this property is 565 acres. Now there are and has been work done with the council to look at the subdivision of this block as a equestrian type development. The road we're driving on here has been built to council specifications, compacted and so forth, and we'll show you a culvert and everything as we get further down. Now the timber in this area here, part of it vegetation wise, is white, so any clearing can be done without any permit. Now just under this section here of road, there's a substantial, once again as I said, this is built to council specifications, and just under this section here there's a substantial culvert being put in, which once again is up to council specifications and ready for any development. There's a, down in that direction there, there's a solar panel, solar pump set up on a bore, which then comes on a line straight up along that fence line there, and then back up onto the hill which is behind where we are here. I'll just come back out of there now so you can get a better look at that whole paddock. And those hills you see over in the back over there, that's the Knobs, very well-known landmark in this area. I'll zoom up on those again in a minute, but up on the hill here behind us there are two 5,000 gallon tanks, and from there then it reticulates water back down into this paddock to water a trough, or to supply a trough I should say, just over in that direction over there. Now I'll just zoom back up onto those knobs. There's the Knobs over there, very well-known landmark in this area, back in the Byfield Ranges. Now we're about the middle of the block here, boys, so I'm going to do a pan around just so you can see what we're talking about. But there's going to be plans go with this, so periodically through the video it will stop and there will be part of a plan, so and I'll write in there what that plan is and how it associates with this video. So, but as you can see, that all that cleared country back up in there, and also this timbered country that's here, and some of the timbered country you see over there as well, is all part of the block. As we pan around here, I'm just watching where I'm driving as well as trying to talk to you at the same time, but that'll give you an idea. And where we are here now, I'm just pointing back so that you can see back over towards the gate where we came in. So righto, now what we're going to do is head off and show you the other end of this property. Now what we've just shown you here, including the timbered country just here, as well as this open country, works out to around about 185 acres of the 500 odd acres that we're talking about. So we're going to go up the other end now and show you the rest. Right, now we're just coming out, just here under this road here, once again is another culvert, and that's beyond council requirements for a culvert under this road, so that's to make access to the subdivision. And now we're coming in onto the second part and the bigger part of the actual block, so we'll go around that now and show you right across it and let you see what it's all about. And once again, we'll be putting plans in amongst this, so if you see plans come up, that will relate to what we've been talking. Now we're just, as I said, we've just come in onto this second block. Now you see that bit of a track going up to the top of the ridge there, just over the side of that ridge, down the other side is where the boundary is, and then it comes back along behind there and then comes up onto the top of the ridge, and you'll see here in a minute where the ridge jumps up to a higher section of ridge. Where that goes higher, the actual boundary runs on this side of that knob and runs back through, and we're going to go up onto a higher point here now, and I'll show you just where that boundary runs back to from there. So buyers just trying to keep out of that wind, but there's a set of cattle yards that are on the block there. In very good condition, the cattle are doing very well in this property here. Very good female country, that's for sure. Just want to draw your attention here to that cleared line down there. I'm just zooming up onto now. Now that's the boundary of the first block we were on, and then when you come onto this block here, the boundary then, I'll zoom out a bit here now, the boundary then runs along that tree line on this cleared timber and runs back over into that corner back over there, and then I'm going to come around and you'll see that there's a couple of houses in the foreground there. Well, where those houses are, back this way from them a bit is the boundary. And you'll see there's another house just over there, and then there's another one further over. And there's the knobs again. Once and just there, what we're looking at there, that's Daly Creek Road coming in from the other side, and that's a subdivision over there, rural subdivision. Now I'm just going to pull back off that, and we're looking at once again this block here, panning around. That's the end of that subdivision we're looking at just there. And then we come across on this block here, and all that timber you see there, there's 80 acres in that. 80 acres of standing timber. And that goes up onto that cleared piece you can see up on top of the hill. I'll just zoom up there so you can have a look at that. That cleared piece up there. And then once again, this is the paddock. I'll zoom back out again. The paddock we're looking at as a development paddock. And we'll have the plans once again that'll crop up and show that. And we're going to take a shot back over this from a distance just so you can look back down onto this area here and get a bit of an idea of what it looks like from a higher vantage point. Here is we're just coming up to the gate, the first gate we went into when we started doing the video. It just here. So that's the frontage, and there's the timbered area going back into the block. But you look at that yellow mark on the road there. That's where the water comes in, the town water finishes there and available to go to the blocks. Now where we are here now, buyers, we're coming up, this is Woodbine Road, and Woodbine Estate is what we're talking about. I'm just going to take you and show you some of the area that's involved here, and that is developed. Now some of it is cleared and some of it isn't, of course, but these blocks here that we're looking at here now this can all tie in with that estate that we looked at over further just a moment ago. And I'll just go in here and give you a look at what we're talking about. They're all 5 acres ranging up to 10 acre blocks. So, and giving a look at, a lot of them have got really good views, see, some over Byfield, and some with rural aspects such as we're looking at as we're coming up onto here now. And see how we're on top of a bit of a ridge here, and the blocks are come into a sort of like a cul-de-sac type fashion and run back off that, back down into where we are here now as we're driving around. So you can see the type of configuration that we're talking about with these blocks. Now, as I said, there'll be a map here. Now this can be tied in with that development we just showed you, we've been looking at prior to this, but or it can be purchased separate or not at all, whichever suits the buyer.